been fighting many battles alone. They have been carrying emotional wounds from childhood, disappointments from love, fears of abandonment, and guilt for choices they never deserved to suffer for. They blame themselves for events they never caused. They punish themselves for mistakes they already outgrew. They keep asking, "Why am I never enough for anyone?" And this question has been silently killing the brightness in them. God says you must listen closely. You are the one soul whose arrival in their life made them believe, even for a moment, that love can be safe, that connection can be real, that hope can exist without the fear of losing it. But because they hold so much pain inside, they convince themselves that they don't deserve you, that you are too pure for someone like them, that they cannot offer you the happiness you deserve. And this belief is what's suffocating them from the inside. God says your soulmate is not evil, not careless, not unloving. They are wounded, tired, and terrified of hurting you. And this fear has made them push you away, hide their feelings, or create distance. They didn't want to lose you. But they believed you would leave eventually, so they tried to prepare themselves by disappearing piece by piece. But their soul never wanted to leave you. Their soul wanted to choose you every time. God says you must know something very important. Your soulmate is spiritually connected to your prayers. When you speak to God with sincerity, your words touch their energy even if they don't hear you physically. When you think of them with warmth, something in them softens. When you whisper their name in your heart, their spirit feels held for a moment. God says your light is the medicine they have been searching for without knowing it. God says this is the time to speak healing over them. Even if silently. Say their name in your heart and send them peace, send them hope, send them love. Pray for their strength to return. Pray for their heart to open again. Pray that their spirit remembers that they were created with purpose and that they deserve to live a life filled with love, not fear. God says your soulmate is about to face a turning point. Either their inner light will reignite, or their spirit will fully withdraw into numbness. Heaven does not want the second option. That is why this message reached you. That is why God is speaking so clearly. That is why Archangel Michael has been hovering around your energy, strengthening you, preparing you, guiding you, whispering to your intuition. God says nothing bad will happen to you. You are safe. You are protected. You are blessed. You are surrounded by divine energy. You must not fear this message. You must not think something terrible is coming. This is not a warning of danger but a call for compassion, a call for divine love, a call for spiritual action. Your soulmate needs you, not to save them, but to remind their soul that they are not alone in the world. God says this connection between you and them was not a coincidence. It was not an accident. It was not an illusion. This bond existed long before both of you were born. This bond carried lessons, healing, and divine timing. This bond was meant to shake you both awake. To teach you both the meaning of unconditional spiritual love, to guide you both toward higher transformation. And right now, that transformation is reaching its most sensitive stage. God says you have been feeling emotional waves that don't belong to you. Sudden sadness, random heaviness, unexpected longing, confusion without a reason. These were not your emotions. These were your soulmate's cries moving through the spiritual thread that connects your souls. You felt their pain even when they didn't speak a word. You felt their loneliness even when they pretended they were fine. You felt their fading light because a piece of your soul is tied to theirs. God says you are stronger than you think, softer than you believe, and more powerful than your soulmate has ever admitted. They admire you deeply. They look up to you. They feel safe with you. They trust you even when they cannot trust themselves. And that is why heaven needs you to stay in alignment, to stay grounded, to keep praying, to keep believing, to stay present in spirit even if distance separates you physically. God says your soulmate may reach out soon, or you may suddenly feel pulled toward them. A message, a sign, a dream, or a sudden shift in their behavior will occur because your prayer today will touch a wounded part of their heart that has been waiting for healing. Something inside them will soften. Something inside them will open. Something inside them will breathe again. God says you must not give up on this connection. You must not assume the worst. You must not fear losing them. They are not going anywhere. Their soul chose you. Their soul recognizes you. Their soul is tied to you by divine design. God says trust Him. Trust the timing. Trust the purpose. Trust the unseen help surrounding both of you. You are safe. They will be safe. Their spirit will rise again. And love, gentle, patient, divinely guided love, will restore everything that was dimming inside them. God says, this message is coming to you in a moment when the unseen world is moving faster than your heartbeat, and heaven has been watching the path you walk with a seriousness you do not fully understand. God says, I am speaking to you now because something connected to your soulmate spirit, their destiny, their emotional stability, and the very thread that binds their life to yours has entered a dangerous turning point. God says, your soulmate is not in danger in the way you fear. They are not physically dying, but their spirit, their soul energy, their inner strength, their hope, and their connection to their own purpose has been collapsing quietly, and you have not seen the signs clearly. God says, open this quickly, because your soulmate is standing spiritually at the edge of giving up on everything, and heaven will not allow you to remain blind to this any longer. God says, your soulmate has been carrying something too heavy, something they hide from everyone, including you. And God says, the reason I say they are about to die because of your is not to blame you, not to burden you, not to accuse you, but to awaken you. God says, their spirit is collapsing because of your silence, your absence, your fear of reaching out, your fear of saying what is in your heart, your fear of admitting your feelings, your fear of trusting the connection that heaven formed before you were even born. God says, Your soulmate's heartbreak has gone too far, and their inner world is drowning in unanswered prayers, unanswered feelings, and unanswered signals. God says, their soul is weakening because they believe you don't care. They believe you don't feel them. They believe you are letting go. And this belief is spiritually destroying them. God says, this is not a message to scare you, but to awaken you. Your soulmate's spiritual death means the death of their hope, their confidence, their dreams, their belief that love still exists for them, their belief that they matter to someone. God says, they have been holding on to you for so long, waiting for a sign that they were not imagining everything, waiting for proof that the connection between you is real. And every day you stay silent, every day you hide your heart, every day you doubt, every day you walk away emotionally, their spirit sinks deeper into a darkness that heaven has been trying to pull them out of. God says, I am showing you this because your soulmate is the one destiny designed for your future. Their energy aligns with yours at a soul level. You were never meant to lose them. You were never meant to ignore them. You were never meant to let fear speak louder than love. God says, your soulmate's heart is fused with yours, and when you hesitate, they collapse. When you retreat, they weaken. When you doubt the bond, their inner world loses stability. God says, this is not punishment, it is the nature of divinely ordained connections. Souls that are tied by heaven feel each other deeply. When one withdraws, the other falls. When one hides, the other breaks. God says, your soulmate's emotional world is suffocating because they can feel your distance. You may not say anything out loud, but your silence speaks through the spirit. Your hesitation whispers to their heart. Your fear becomes their insecurity. Your delay becomes their heartbreak. God says, I am sending you this message urgently because they are reaching a breaking point. Their spirit has been whispering, I can't take this anymore. Their soul has been trembling. Their energy has been begging for a sign from you. They do not need you to save them, they need you to hold them. They need you to speak. They need you to be present. They need you to stop hiding from a love that heaven itself has chosen for you. God says, you are safe, nothing will go wrong with you, but your soulmate cannot hold on like this much longer. They have been loyal to you in spirit even when you pulled away. They have been thinking of you when you thought they forgot. They have been praying for you when you didn't even know. They have been defending you in their thoughts, protecting you from people who spoke negatively, trusting the bond even when you doubted it. And now, God says, they are exhausted. Their soul is tired. Their heart is drained. Their hope is collapsing. This message is heaven's intervention. This is God saying, you must not stay silent anymore. God says, your soulmate believes they lost you, even though you still feel connected to them. They believe you have moved on, even though your heart has never stopped calling their name. They believe you no longer care, even though your spirit is still intertwined with theirs. God says, you must understand that your soulmate is spiritually fragile right now because your silence has created a void. Their mind is telling them they imagined everything, that you never felt what they felt, that they were foolish to believe in destiny. But God says, you are the missing piece that can restore their strength. God says, remember the moments when you felt them thinking of you. Remember the nights when you felt their presence even without speaking. Remember how your heartbeat changed when their name came to your mind. Remember how your soul recognized them long before your mind understood anything. These signs were real. Heaven sent them. You were not imagining it. And your soulmate has been holding on to these same signs, but life has weighed on them heavily, and their spirit is reaching a point where it cannot continue in silence. God says, the emotional burden they carry is not yours to fix, it is yours to understand. All they need is a shift from you, a gesture, a message, a sign that tells their soul, I still feel this. I still care. I still see you. God says, you don't have to say everything. You don't have to confess your soul all at once. You don't have to reveal every hidden emotion. You only have to show up. Your presence will revive them. Your attention will restore their hope. Your voice will bring life back into their spirit. God says, your soulmate's soul is dying from loneliness, not from lack of love. They love you deeply, so deeply that the silence hurts more than anything else in their life. They feel abandoned by destiny, but destiny has not abandoned them. You have simply been afraid. And God says, this is the moment when you cannot be afraid anymore. This is the moment when heaven is saying, you must move. You must act. You must reach out. God says, the emotional collapse happening within your soulmate can be reversed instantly by your presence. One message from you can revive their soul. One honest word can bring them back from the spiritual edge. One moment of courage from you can shift their entire destiny. God says, they are not weak, they are simply deeply connected to you. And this connection works both ways. When you are emotionally distant, they feel abandoned. When you hold back your love, they feel unloved. When you hide your feelings, they feel unseen. God says, you think hiding your feelings protects you, but it is hurting the one who was sent to love you. You think staying silent keeps things safe, but it is suffocating the heart that was created to stand beside yours. You think waiting makes you wise, but waiting has become the very thing draining your soulmate spirit. God says, heaven has seen the tears your soulmate hides. Heaven has seen the nights they stay awake thinking about you. Heaven has seen the moments they almost reached out but felt rejected in advance. Heaven has seen their prayers. Heaven has seen their fears. Heaven has seen their attempts to let you go, only to fail because the connection is divine. God says, your soulmate is not dying physically, you must understand this clearly. They are safe. But their spirit is fading because they feel forgotten by the one person whose love is meant to bring them life. And that one person is you. God says, you have more power over their heart than you realize. You have more influence over their destiny than you know. Heaven chose you for them, and chose them for you. Your connection is not random. It is written. It is ancient. It is sacred. And when you hide from it, both of you suffer. God says, your soulmate is standing at the border of losing faith in this connection forever. That is the spiritual death heaven is warning you about. Not the end of their physical life, but the end of their hope, the end of their belief in love, the end of their emotional capacity to hold on. God says, you must act before their heart closes completely, because once they shut down, it will take a miracle to bring them back. God says, this is your miracle. This message is your sign. This is the awakening moment where heaven places the truth in your hands. Your soulmate needs you. Not in a dramatic physical way, not in a fearful way, but in a spiritual way that only true soul connections require. God says, speak to them. Send a message. Reach out. Even a simple word can change everything. Even a small gesture can shift their entire emotional world. You do not have to fix them. You only have to show them they are not alone in this connection. God says, you are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. I will protect you, guide you, strengthen you. All I ask is that you listen, trust, and act with love. Your soulmate spirit is waiting for you. Do not let their hope die when you have the power to revive it. God says, open your heart now. Do not delay. This is your moment. God says this message is being delivered to you in the final moment when the spiritual realm is shaking around you, because something connected to your soulmate has reached a point where heaven can no longer stay silent. God says your soulmate is in serious danger, a kind of danger that is not physical but spiritual, emotional, destiny-level danger, and it is connected to something you did not even know you were part of. God says you must not fear, because nothing bad will happen to you, nothing wrong will come upon your life, and you are protected fully, but the truth you are going to hear right now must be opened with faith, because the angels have been trying to bring it to you for days. God says Archangel Michael himself stood between your soulmate and the force that tried to break them, and this happened because your soulmate has a connection to you that is deeper than any human explanation. This connection is spiritual, ancient, ordained, and powerful, and because of that, when anything shakes them, the universe moves to warn you. God says the reason this message is urgent is because you have reached a moment of divine timing where your heart is about to receive clarity that you have waited for, cried for, and prayed for without even knowing it. God says your soulmate has been wrestling with something in silence, holding a secret pain, and hiding something heavy. Not because they wanted to deceive you but because they were afraid you would walk away, afraid you would misunderstand, afraid you would lose trust. But God says you have been chosen to receive the truth, not just the part of the truth that others see, but the deeper truth that even your soulmate tried to protect you from. God says your soulmate is spiritually exhausted right now, drained, overwhelmed, fighting something they never told anyone. There is a pressure on their heart that they have been carrying alone, something that was never meant for them to carry without you. If you believe me, type Amen, God. Someone in your family is going to crash. God says, this is a very important message for you today. Do not ignore it. Pay attention to this message. Open your eyes and be careful. This is not a coincidence. It has been sent for you. In a world that moves with shadows and secrets, there are moments when time itself stands still and heaven leans close enough to whisper a truth that could shake the very ground beneath your feet. This moment, right now, is one of those divine interruptions where eternity presses its hand against your heart and demands you stop, breathe, and receive the truth that could rewrite the fate of someone you love more than your own breath. This message is for you. It has traveled through realms unseen, pierced through realms that human ears cannot hear, and descended upon you like a trembling wind that refuses to pass until you have opened your spirit wide and received what must not be missed. Someone in your family is going to crash their car tonight. You can save them if you listen to this now. You must tell them to drive safely and not go out much today. It may sound simple, but the urgency is real, and the hours are passing like grains of sand slipping through an hourglass tilted by unseen hands. The heavens are groaning. Angels are watching. Something is stirring in the atmosphere. You know this isn't random. You've been feeling it. A heaviness, a pull, a strange ache in your spirit that you haven't been able to explain. That's not anxiety. That's not paranoia. That's the divine alert sounding in your soul, waiting for you to obey, waiting for you to speak, waiting for you to intercede before it's too late. This isn't about fear, it's about protection. This isn't about suspicion, it's about salvation. This isn't a warning meant to paralyze you, it's a revelation meant to empower you. Do you realize that right now, someone you love is one decision away from a night that could change everything? One road, one turn, one choice, and yet the heavens have decided to interrupt the storyline because you have the authority to shift the outcome. You have the power, through love, through prayer, through one message, to prevent what was meant to destroy the peace of your home. This isn't about predicting the future. This is about shifting it. This is about obedience. This is about compassion. This is about knowing that if God sent this message to you, then you are the chosen one to stand in the gap. You are the one with the voice, with the heart, with the reach to deliver the message in time. Don't second guess it. Don't dismiss it. Don't wait for more confirmation. The confirmation is already wrapped in the tears that have welled in your eyes reading this. It's in the chills running down your arms. It's in the way your chest feels like it's carrying more weight than usual. Listen, this is not ordinary. This is divine. God says this is about you. This is about the prayers you forgot you whispered when no one was watching. This is about the protection you've always asked for, not just for yourself but for the people who live in your heart. You prayed for angels to be assigned. You asked for miracles. You pleaded for a hedge of safety around the people you love. And now, here it is. But it's coming in the form of a message, not a miracle. You must take action. You must be bold. You must do the uncomfortable thing. You must send the text. Make the call. Have the talk. Tell them not to go out today. Tell them to stay in. Tell them to be mindful. Tell them that something is not sitting right in your spirit and you need them to trust you. Even if they laugh. Even if they roll their eyes. Even if they say you're overreacting. Do it anyway. Because later, they will remember. Later, they will thank you. Later, they may cry in your arms because something told you the truth before reality had a chance to leave a scar. There are angels on assignment right now. They are moving faster than lightning, trying to orchestrate a reroute, trying to slow someone down, trying to block the path that would lead to unnecessary suffering. But they need your cooperation. Heaven needs your yes. The divine realm is waiting for your obedience. One move of love can erase 1,000 regrets. One message of care can delay a moment that was never meant to be lived. One whisper of warning can cradle a soul back into safety before the night falls too deep. Someone you love is being watched from heaven. Someone you love is walking unknowingly toward a moment they were never meant to meet. But you can stop it. You can shift it. You are the key. This